Okay, so this is The Great Are You Lord, an acoustic idea or part to consider. So first I want to go over the chords that are in this song in this key of D. And so we have G. It's probably easiest to play open G. And some people play it differently, but here is how I do it. We've got 3rd fret, low E string, 2nd fret, A string, and then 3rd fret, high E string. Like that. You can do that with your middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger, or you can switch it to your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger, whichever is most comfortable for you. And then we've got B minor 7, all right? And so when I play B minor 7, I typically play it as a barred B minor 7. So what that means is you're going to take your index finger and then you're going to put that on the 2nd fret from the A string down, and then you're going to take your middle finger from the B string, 3rd fret there, and then you've got your ring finger, and you're going to put that on your D string, and then you strum that, and that's in the 4th fret there. All right, and that's the way I do it. That said, there's an open voicing that may be much easier for you. And so you take the index finger, and then you put your on the 2nd fret A string, and then you've got the 2nd fret G string there, and you can let that A ring out. And so from the A string down, skip the high E string. You don't need that, so you can just lean your this part of your hand on that E string at the bottom, and then so it looks like that, and it sounds like this, right? And so it's kind of similar. And another option would be to put your ring finger on the 3rd string B string. I'm sorry, 3rd fret B string, and together that sounds like this, which I kind of rather like. But again, here's the barred version. Just has a full sound, but the open options actually sound kind of cool too. Right? And here's the 3rd option. And so together, then the next chord we have is an A sus, which stands for suspended. And so normally when you see A sus, they mean sus4 suspended. We'll get into more of that in the future, but suffice it to say that there's basically, you'll see sus4, sus, or 2, or sus2, and they all have different meanings with the exception of sus and sus4. And so commonly, here's how people will play, either with their index finger, their middle finger, and their ring finger, all in fret 2, and that's on the D string, G string, B string. There's an A chord, and you can start at the A string, this one, right? Now the A sus is just moving your ring finger to the 3rd fret on the B string. Now you leave this E string out when you're doing that. If you play it, it's not the end of the world. And so you have that chord. So again, for the first 3 chords of the song, you have G. I do it that way. You can do it this way. Another cheat code is literally just putting your ring finger down and playing the first top 4 strings there, the D, G, B, and you're putting your ring finger on the G there, on the 3rd fret of that, and so you can just go like that. And so, but again, so the first 3 chords we have are G, B minor 7, here's that open voicing, and then we have A sus. Another way I do the A sus is I actually just bar it and then put my middle finger there, and then just strum that in there. From there. Okay, and so pattern-wise, as far as the strumming pattern that makes it easy is like a you give down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And so that's all that's needed for the intro as well as the verse. And then we've got the chorus. Now the chorus is a little bit easier because you can use these same chords, but the first chord, you know what they call a diamond in guitar world, is literally just playing that chord down like a slow strum, like a right. And so that way you hear the whole chord and you don't have to add a lot of rhythm to it. So when it lands on breath, it's your breath and our. Same thing for your B minor 7. So you can go, it's your B and our B minor 7. So we A sus down, 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 down. And actually, when we get to the word only, I would raise that sus off and just have it be like, or go back to just a regular A. So that's where the bar kind of comes in as a handy tool, because if you do it that way, it's easier. Your A notes are already there from these 3, right? So they're D string, B string, and the 2nd fret that we talked about earlier, or you can just have it already barred. So you can go, so we pour out a praise to you only. That way you get access to the sus, right? And then, so we have these same chords are in the instrumental section again. So we have G, or you can do it that way. And then you have B minor 7. That was the barred version. This is the open version. A, 2nd fret, A string rather. It's actually the B note there. And then we've got our G string there. And that should be our A. Right? Octave, so A. This is the open option I gave you earlier. Now again, if you put your ring finger in that 3rd fret on the B string, which is our D note, there's our octave. Sounds kind of cool too. So instrumental again, we're going to have our G. I'm instinctually going to the bar, but I'm going to try to avoid doing that. So we have our G. Now some people are taught that this is traditional G. I submit to you that that is G2, which will come up later in the song. So open G, or the earlier. So we have the instrumental, diamond, B minor 7, A set, oops. See, now if you drop that accidentally to the high E string, you're going to get an A dominant 7. It's kind of like a bluesy song, right? All right, I digress. Back to it. So we have G, B minor 7, and we have that A sus. All right, and then you're just going to repeat that again. Well, actually, we've reached the instrumental, so the next step is instrumental 2. That's instrumental 1 with a G, B minor 7, A sus. Instrumental 2 is just D, which a lot of people learn that early on, but you have your open D chord there. So there you have the D string, wiggling it right there. And then you got your A there on the fret 2 on the G string. And then you've got 3rd fret your ring finger there. But below that, I'm using my middle finger on the high E string, right? And so you're strumming that from the D string down. Alright. Now just like with that A sus, it's a little trickier, but you take your pinky and you put it on that high E string to add the sus in for D sus. Here's the difference. And so I recommend practicing just going back and forth, adding that in, taking it off, putting it down, till you get comfortable adding it in. Just have a little fun with that. Alright, and so that G2 we were talking about earlier is where you take, this would be technically that G. Instead of putting your ring finger down there on the G, this time you're going to put that on the B string, adding that D in, and then we're going to put our pinky right below that on the high E string. And so we have, alright, that's hitting our G, it's hitting our B, and then we've got our D, and we've got our high G. And together. Alright, so then you're going to go for the instrumental 2, D. And now this is where, this song is N6/8, that is the time signature, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so like a triplet, and this would sound like this. Ba, 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 or ba, 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 if it was a 16th triplet. So I like to do for this section, well this is the way they wrote it, but I'll go down, 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 down. And if you think of the lyrics, that's basically what's happening there. So it's got the, and all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Okay, and so you got that cooking. And that's the bulk of the song, really, because it's not an overly complicated song. So top to bottom, and the instrumental at the end is the same as the intro. So you've got that G, B minor 7, A sus. You can take that off, like I mentioned earlier. Easier if you bar it. That way you're getting that note in. This is gone on rather longer than I anticipated it would, because I wanted to be very clinical or breakdowny. And so we've got we've got the intro. Give me So we pour out our praise to you only. So after you get done with instrumental 1, you go right back to that verse again. You give us, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. Your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. Your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And then when you get back around after the chorus, you go to the instrumental 2. That's the you're gonna strum that again, just like the lyrics and the bridge. So, and all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will back to the chorus. And I will get way more rhythmic when you're coming to the chorus following the bridge. So bring back that down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. Your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And a lot of times you're going to be in the bridge more than just the one time. I know that when we do it, we typically do it, I think about let me see, I want to come back to that. I think about 4 times after the bridge. And you can kind of, we'll have it planned out for our purposes, but if you're viewing this, if I decide to put it on YouTube, then, you know, cater it to whatever your church is doing. And the reason why we're in this key is this is actually typically better for a better key for a lot of female vocalists. And so I'm singing it lower because I'm not a female, but they would be a little higher on that. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour praise. A little high for me. Now, when I sing this song, I'm in the key of A, but we again are in the key of D here, and so bear that in mind when you are working on this song. And so the version that is probably good to keep an eye out for is the Amanda Cook version on YouTube. That's going to typically be in this same key if you want to play along with the song. Hope this has been helpful. It's much longer than I anticipated it being, but hopefully you've gained something from it. All right.